stop.
We're celebrating those.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the day I get excited about, I do admit. It's the Exotics Day. I don't know. Don't even think there's any shirts for the Exotics Day. RSI, Aegis, Argo. I have to have a look. I'm curious now. Drake, Consolidated. No. There's not. Nothing. No alien shirts. It's probably because they don't wear shirts. Which hall are we going to? We're going to the Apex Hall. Prepare your jock straps, ladies and gentlemen. Watching this fancy thing. Is that it? Is that all we get? Ooh. I don't actually know who the hell they are. Prowler. Anyway. We're not here to watch commercials. Unless they're Jax McClary commercials. So I can't say I'm particularly shocked at what is front row center. Oh, well that's disappointing. It's going to be a very short stream today, apparently. Because a lot of these ships are just a cockpit. That's it. I suppose we'll start downstairs with the holograms and then we'll get into these culprits. Oh God, look at the Prowler light up. I don't even think there's going to be any... Oh, the Noxes are down here. Okay. So these are the Noxes. They're basically bikes. I don't like these ones, actually. I prefer Drakes, which is saying a lot. These go in a very straight line very well, but that's about all they do. They do have guns on them, though. I suppose they'd be good for races, depending on what the race is. They do look nice. I originally wanted one of these, but I jumped on one of these and I jumped on one of the Dragonflies and yeah, as I said, this thing goes in a straight line very well. That's about all it does well. But look at the detail on this fucking boy. You can't fault this fucking thing for detail, you really can't. As far as detail goes, these things are second to none. I love them. I love the look. Yeah, just shoot the guy out of here, pretty much. Is there anything over there? No. So, we'll have to go around the back here to get into the hollow hall, which is where we'll see the big boys, the two big cargo ships. Well, I don't think this one is actually all that big. I don't even remember what this thing's called. It's by Gatag, but I don't know what it's called. Raylan. So those are actually cargo pods that hang out the arse of it. All those triangle boxes, they're all cargo pods. And it actually folds up really neatly. Like, I was kinda hoping that one of these would be, like, folded up, like, in its landed mode, and one of them would be, you know, in its flight mode, not both of them. It has the really neat little landing thing. It has, like, those little things there, those little thrusters. Like, they're little legs that it puts out here underneath itself, and it just kind of squats down on them. I mean, it's only a medium cargo ship. It's not like it's anything too special. I don't think it'd be too bad in ammo. I mean, it's an alien ship. It can't be bad at all. Most of the alien ships handle, like, unbelievably. The only real issue is, like I said, it's all the cargo hangs out the arse of it, so anybody can shoot it. Here's the big boy. The big boy that nobody really knows what's going on with it yet. The Banu Merchant Man. Everybody wants the Merchant Man. Banu traders are renowned for their merchant prowess, traveling the space lanes and trading with everyone they meet. Their sturdy, dedicated trading ships have proven themselves a vessel ideally suited to the task, and are so prized that they are frequently passed down from generation to generation of Banu. Except nobody knows anything about this ship yet. We know nothing about this ship. It was originally a cargo ship, and now it's something else, and I suppose you could call it, in its design, to be what I suppose you would call a merchant ship, of which the only other one is the Kraken. The Kraken. It's a very short trip underneath, isn't it? It's not much to show off on bikes. Although these Banu ships are just ridiculous because they're supposed to be dual-person piloted. Jesus, it's dark in here. Oi! So, like, you're supposed to have two pilots in these things. Like, originally, the original Banu version of the ship is supposed to have two pilots, but obviously this one doesn't. But it has two... It still retains the two quote-unquote cockpits, so... I don't actually know... Like, this is very obviously a cockpit. I'm gonna stick my head in the other cockpit and find out that it's probably, you know, a cockpit. That's a bed. That's a bed. And that is definitely another cockpit, so I don't know what's going on there. That's just the ramp. Things have the fucking schmickest. All of the alien ships have the schmickest stairs. Can I actually close it? Yeah. fucking love that thing. So yeah, it's a really unique ship. Design in the concept that it's supposed to have 2 pilots, but yeah, I don't actually know anything otherwise. Meet the Banu Defender, a multi-crew fighter whose patchwork design highlights technology from a variety of species, featuring a modest accommodations for its crew and its easy access to components. The Defender gets its name from the role it serves. The first line of defense against enemy attacks. That's why the Defender makes the ideal companion to the Merchantman. One to do the heavy hauling and the other to perform the deadly dogfighting. I don't actually know how agile this thing is, so to say deadly dogfighting is probably interesting. Same typical alien-esque details. Lots of... I don't want to call it different materials, but there's a lot of different material textures on there. It's an interesting ship. It's not one I've ever desired to own. But a lot of people like its weird design, so good on them. This is the one everybody wants. The light fighter that costs as much as a heavy. These light fighters, designation Blade, are often used by the Vanduul as scouts and first wave assault crafts. They've also served well as skirmisher units due to their speed, allowing them to chase down any ships attempting to flee the area. For some decades, the United Empire of Earth aggressor squadrons have operated replica Blade fighters, produced under exclusive contract by Esperia. So, Blade being the key word. So most ships have relatively fragile sections of ship. These blades, in theory, are actually designed to clip. So they're not just there for aesthetic purposes. They are actually designed to pierce other ships. I also don't think there's any actual weapons on these wings, per se. I think they're all, yeah, just mounted directly in. That's the logic of it. I don't actually know if the model operates as such. I do want to try this thing out, so I am going to rent this. So once again, you can see it's very different to the Banu design and material texturing. I suppose you could call it almost ornate, really, couldn't you? Those are maneuvering thrusters. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a thruster or not. I think those are too. So now all of these Vanduul ships, you actually lay on the seat. So you jump into these ships laying down. Or laying on your guts, basically. And it's all fucking minimalist, as you can see. It's all just heads-up display, that's all it is. You get no instruments, no nothing. What you see is what you get, which is fuck all. yeah, that's pretty much how these Vandal ships are. They are... I think they're quite pretty, but they kind of remind me of, like, Predator designs. So I'll save the Prowler for last, because that's obviously the center show, and I don't have a lot to talk about today, so... So this is probably the most terrifying fucking ship you'll ever come across. This is the Glaive. The Glaive is a symmetrical version of the Scythe, generally flown by Vandal with more combat experience. They're better armed, have 2 huge blade wings as opposed to the 1 on the standard Scythe. So the Scythe basically only has these big fucking... I don't even know what you'd describe them as. They are blades, but if you look at them like this, they probably don't look like blades. But the Scythe only has 1. And obviously, because the whole thing reinforces this massive fucking weapon, I don't even know what size that is. It's something genuinely obnoxious. Yeah. So basically, when you pull the gear up, because that's all landing gear, these blades basically fold out and slide forward. And yes, as with the blade, they are allegedly reinforced and designed to literally clip ships. Whether or not they will end up that way, I don't know, but that was the initial design concept. So not only do you have these big frickin' guns, these capital class weapons on this fucking thing, you also have these menacingly large, nasty pieces of metal that will very happily do nasty things to your ship. So you can see this is all very bare bones. This is all just fucking engine. That's a maneuvering thruster. Maneuvering thruster. And that's about all the maneuvering thrusters I can see on it. I'm sure it has ones on the top, but there's one there. So this one actually has like a really open canopy. But the concept is the same. Get it on your guts. Grab the sticks, pull yourself up. And here's home. Nice open canopy in this one. Not that, well, as I say, those actually fold out, so they do get out of your way a bit, but for the most part, yeah, this ship is a freaking menace. I'm not too sure about this particular model, but the Scythe, I can confirm that the Scythe goes forward very well, but it doesn't go in any other direction very well. I imagine, given the lack of maneuvering thrusters on this, that it's much the same. It's very good forward, but not very good in any other direction. And again, when you're pointing these fucking things around, I suppose you don't really need to be good in any other direction, do you? So this is just all... There's no fucking aesthetics in this thing. This is all just machine. Just one big frickin' killing machine. That's all this is. grab one of these because they are quite interesting to fly. They don't fly like any other ship, I can tell you that. Now these ones I've had, unfortunately I think these ships are pretty crap. They look fantastic. Unfortunately I can't actually show you how nice and lovely they look because no power, no engine, a lot of it relies on the landing gear being up. But basically all this stuff, all of this stuff folds out. So it looks like, I suppose like a bird basically with its wings outstretched. It's a very, very pretty ship. Well, both of them are actually. They're both very, very pretty ships.
Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. Please remember to stay hydrated while exploring the exhibits on display. For your convenience, a selection of beverages and tasty snacks are available for purchase in the lobby.
So once again, we have a very different way of getting into the ship. The whole seat comes out to pick you up. And then it slorps you back in. So this one isn't a Vandal ship, so this one's actually got some instruments and everything else. I don't know if this will actually do what I want it to do.
Systems on.
Because there is another thing that's quite cool. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it with, you know, the restrictions that I have on the ship. While it's, you know, stuck here in the hall. I would probably need to hire one to actually showcase. Yeah. I wanted to showcase that canopy effect. I might have to rent one. Might be a bit longer than expected because I'll have to go out to the spaceport. So, the Talon. Hey, Blue. The Talon represents Esperia's continuing effort to preserve the historic significance. Move your head, please. Historically significant Terravan ship designs. A maneuverable single-seat combat ship with light armor but powerful directional phalnic shields. The Talon is made to strike for... Thanks, sweetheart. Strike first and hard before using the shields to cover its escape. So these two ships both have unique shields. I don't even know if the shields have been implemented properly yet. So that kind of takes away a lot. But yeah, essentially these things have phalnic shields, which in theory are supposed to stop massive amounts of damage, but only for a short period of time, or certain number of hits or a certain amount of damage. I'm not actually sure how it works exactly, because I did buy one of these and test it out, and it was unfortunately a little lackluster. Unfortunately. So, this one, the Shrike has purple. Has a purple glow on it. Or a purple metallic finish on it, I should say. which is very beautiful. I actually love this ship. This ship is amazing. It looks gorgeous. So I'll rent this one. And I'll have to go out to the spaceport and they were wonderful to fly, but unfortunately, yeah, I found their weapons payload to be very, very lacking. So this thing, I have one of these as well, as a lone ship, because I have its big brother, which isn't out yet. These ships are absolutely amazing as well. So, this is the K2R. Xian Aopoa. I'll fucking get that word right one day. Corporation manufactures an export model of the K2R for sale to human civilians as dedicated scout/explorer. The export model features the same Xian maneuvering rig, but control surfaces modified for human use, and a more limited armament. So this ship looks all kinds of fucked up at the moment, and that's just because this is how it lands. I can take this one out, because as I said, I do actually own one of these. Well, I own one of these until such time as I get its big brother. But unfortunately, these shields right now, ships right now are very, very crap because they haven't implemented the shields properly into the game yet. And these particular ships, so this one and its big brother, actually fundamentally run on their shield capability. So they have no armor, but shields as thick as anything. So I don't think this is going to give me too much, even if I power it on. No, it's not. But this is the cockpit of this. This is a more traditional cockpit, I suppose, minus the little balls. Minus the grabby breast things. Which I admit are very, very weird, but anyway. So, once again, I can take one of these out. I'll go to my hangar and I'll grab this ship in particular and I'll take it out and I'll show you as much as I can with it. Because I need to make this stream last a little bit longer. Last but not least, we have this thing. This very funny looking thing. Looks like a, I don't know, fucked up pelican, I guess. It's an interesting design anyway. So, this is the Xperia Prowler, named after the UPE military designation. The Prowler is a modernized version of the infamous Terravan boarding craft from the First Terravan War. The Prowler's effectiveness as a rapid personnel deployment vehicle is mainly due to its silence. With the Prowler, you'll find the perfect fusion of two cultures, the elegance and effectiveness of the Terravan war machine, combined with the reliability of modern UAE technology. So, I'll have to fucking rent one of these things, and I hate this thing. I just want to throw that out there. I really don't like flying this ship. I don't even know how you really get into this ship. I don't really remember. Have I got it right? I thought you went in the arse of it. Am I wrong? No, ramp access. I am right. Oh. So everybody comes up the arse of it. And, you know, I don't actually know what these things in the middle are. What are these things? You gonna tell me? Or are you just gonna let me highlight them? Enter. Yeah, okay. So these are just, I suppose, jump seats, you would say, for lack of a better word. Can I view myself, or am I only gonna get outside the fucking ship? I think I'm only gonna get outside the ship. So those are all your troop locking points, I think. Yeah, okay. So there's 2 each side. And I don't think it'll show me again. But these all actually have shield generators in front of them. All these doors. When the ship's fully powered and everything else, these doors actually have shields in front of them so people can't fire into the ship. Okay, so that's the co-pilot seat. This ship confuses me. I really don't like this ship.
Systems activating. Systems on.
If I turn the systems on, maybe the shield doors will come up. They've got more stuff here. No. What do we got here? So that's external access. That should be up to the pilot seat. So how's that for a fancy fucking ladder? Call it a fancy ladder. It's anything but fancy. It's fucking weird. I think those, yeah, those are components. And this is the pilot seat upstairs. So I'm pretty sure those doors actually close in behind you as well. I can't actually turn my head all the way around to see, but...
Weapons on. Systems activating. Systems on.
I'm fairly certain that when the ship's on and powered properly... Jesus Christ, that's a bright light. These doors all have shields on them, so people... Kind of like in that anvil dropship I showed you the other day. How all the doors were bulkheads, except I'm fairly certain in this ship they're not bulkheads, they're actual shields. So yeah, this ship is very red on the inside. Carries a lot of people though by comparison. So what, how many? 4, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, well, hang on. 16, 18. 18 people. Those are gun racks. So that's a lot of fucking people. I don't think the Anvil competitor carries that many people. But that said, the Anvil competitor carries a vehicle, so I suppose you've got to take that into account. This is just all infantry. There's no people here. No vehicles here, sorry. So I really want to... Anyway, I'm pretty sure... Did I rent that? I'm pretty sure I rented that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back to the spaceport now because we're done here. That's it. Yibbity yibbity, that's all, folks. I'll go back to the spaceport. I'll start yanking some of these ships out and we'll actually show you the proper guts of some of these ships, because some of them have some really cool cockpit effects, which, as I said, I can't show anybody there because I can't fully power the ship up. I'm stuck in a limbo there. And you know what? I just remembered that the Talon, actually, I'm going the wrong way altogether. The Talons actually have the same cockpit overlay as the Prowler. So I didn't actually need to get them. I could have just got a Prowler and it did the same thing. Where do I want to go? I don't actually know which is going to be the quickest way. Commons.
Capsule now approaching station.
Capsule now approaching station.
Careful.
Never been to an Royce. Oh no, we have frame droppage. Is it just something stuttering, or is it actually proper frame droppage? Is my streaming software ruining me? I'm pretty sure I don't still have my other OBS software running. No, I don't. Might have to restart.
Careful. Doors are now closed.
It's scary, isn't it? I might actually just pull a restart real quick, so... I just want to go back to the main menu too, so I can try and see if... maybe I hit something weird and janky in game, or if it is the game and the streaming software I'm putting my trust in at the moment is breaching that trust. Because I can honestly say I don't trust this software at all, but judging by how long that took to actually drop back to this point, I don't have a lot of faith. Yeah, it looks choppy. It is choppy. So what I'll do is I'll just restart my game real quick. Obviously, I'm having streaming software issues again. That's like the very big disappointment, that. Because I really thought I had this sussed. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, because it went, what, 2 hours yesterday without a single hitch? So let's keep our fingers crossed that we can get this through and done today. I haven't had any issues the whole time since I swapped to this streaming software anyway. No, that's just because it's that initial startup screen is it's actually a window. So the streaming software is like, oh, window. Mm. My stream is telling me that it's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. It's going to be interesting. So now I'm going to have to watch my stream. Looks okay to me. But, you know, for this loading screen with the little wiggly line. You know, I don't actually think spawning here actually puts me any closer to the damn spaceport either. I've been robbed of everything. Robbed of an opportunity to get closer to the spaceport. I'll have to see when I get back in there, because at the moment it's a little hard to tell if it's dropping frames from a little line that goes back and forth. Righty. Out of bed and away we go. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad to me. Just from what I can see. There is a little bit of stutter to it, but not heaps. And I suspect that the little bit of stutter may actually just be exactly on my end, because when I'm running a full screen application on one monitor, the other monitor kind of drops frames just so it doesn't slorp. Spire Grande. Ah, nighttime. Nighttime in Microtech, my favorite time of the day. Well, they got rid of that fucking elevator. You know, I've walked through that and several times, and that's the first time it actually hit me.
Capsule now approaching station. Stand clear of disembarking passengers. Careful, doors are now closing.
It's water. Let's go to the spaceport. At night. The only way it could be worse is if we were doing it in a snowstorm. I can't actually tell if the sun's coming or going. I need a local time. This is all going to be very interesting because I'm going to try and do all of this inside the hangar, which I can do with most, but not one. I can't do it with the K2L because I don't think there's enough room in the hangar for it to actually uncollapse itself.
The capsule will be...
But I mean, for you folks who haven't played the game, at least you get to have a look at what happens when you come into a spaceport. Which is kind of interesting, because it really displays the scale of what they intend to do with this game. So for all you naughty boys and girls, we have a security checkpoint. Now, none of this shit works at the moment, but at some point in time, all of this shit will scan you for the typical stuff that you'd be scanned for at an airport. Customs. That is correct. Customs, where you can walk up to the desk and find this dude holding a fucking rifle. Jesus. It's exciting. Obviously, all these are terminals, which obviously aren't active yet. But they're all customs terminals. The secure area if you've been a naughty boy and or girl. And for certain individuals that I know of, terminals to pay your naughty fines. Those actually do work at the moment. Those are legitimate terminals for fines. And actually, while I'm here in the spaceport, let us not forget the absolute most important part of everything that is New Babbage. That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. Pico. Pico the penguin. Alrighty.
Looking for a good time?
So, what am I looking for? So let's start off with the Talon Strike, because that's the first thing that I saw. Hangar 3. That's different. I usually get Hangar 4. Hangar 4 is usually my hangar of choice. I'm gonna get ambushed. So, just while I'm in the lift, you can actually see New Babbage has, at the moment, 20 hangars. They're all obviously not this size. Some are bigger, some are smaller. So now I can actually show you guys what this shit actually does and what it actually looks like. If I can get in the bastard. Just gonna plop the chair on my face. I don't like that there's a scorch mark on the floor. So that's the effect I was actually looking for. So that's actually how you see out the front of these things. Once you turn the power on, it all just collapses in like that. Now, as I said, this ship actually does do some funky stuff. So if I put the gear up, you notice that it all fans out. Those first initial wing blades, well, I call them wing blades, I don't actually know what they are. So that's what happens when the gear goes up and down. And those, I don't know, I call them wings as well, I suppose. They fan out as well. So yeah. So that's the Talon in all its glory.
Systems off.
I do like this ship. I love this ship. It's such an aesthetically beautiful ship. I just don't like the ship. I need to go back to the terminal.
From the best in shopping, dining, and entertainment, be sure to visit New Babbage's renowned promenade.
Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? So yeah, I've got these Crusader ones too.
Remember, your belongings belong to you.
I have a lot of ships
Keep a
that I
careful watch on all
shouldn't
personal
have.
items.
Like I have the Vandal Scythe, which as I said was sort of like that middle ground one that only has one wing blade. I have two
For the latest
Tauruses.
updates on ship availability and
Actually, I have
capabilities,
all the constellations. I don't know why I have all of them.
located terminals.
I have a 400i. Anyway, let's store this and we'll get the next one out.
Microtech.
They don't let me borrow it for a long time, do they?
Cutting-edge technology.
So I'll grab the Prowler.
Creative
We'll power up the
innovation
Prowler
with
properly and
innovative creativity.
show you all the proper features of the Prowler. Because the glorious Expo Hall won't actually let me power the ship up properly. Now I'm not going to try and get in the arse of this thing, I'm just going to be nice and jump in the side here. So I'll try and, yeah, I'll have to power the ship up. So this ship's the same as the Talons. Once you power the ship up proper,
Systems
cockpit
activating.
unfolds.
Systems on.
I suppose. I don't really know. So now that jump door should have a shield on it, I thought. Unless that's not something the pilot controls. Maybe that's a co-pilot option. Apparently I have a remote turret. I never knew. And to get out of the remote turret, I have to get out of the cockpit. God, that's horrible. Anywho, I'll take off. I'll show the folding wings and bits and pieces in this ship, and then I'll try and get those door shields working somehow. So, see if I can get this fatty off the ground. Probably help if I turn the engines on.
Engines on.
So, as they say, the ship's nice and quiet. So, Jesus fucking Christ, that lifted up a lot quicker than I was ready for. So I'll put the landing gear in. So... sort of swing around on the side here so you can see exactly what happens while you watch my doors flicker for some unknown reason. And I think this ship has a VTOL mode. Yes, so that's the VTOL mode. The wings fold absolutely up like that. Quite quickly, I might add. Put this boy back down on the ground. And I shall endeavour to get these fucking door shields working. Which I'm hoping I can control from this seat. So that just opens everything. I don't see anything for the door shields though.
Weapons on. Systems activating. Systems on.
Yeah, I can't actually seem to get the shields to work. It's a bit lame. I mean, this is a co-pilot seat. I'm pretty sure I can... yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. They may not be, but, oh well, that's disappointing. But, it is what it is. I can't see anything in the cockpit, sir, plural, for shields, so, unfortunately. There's nothing I can do. I have tried, I have failed. I can't get out. Just yeet myself out the side. Back up. You reckon? It's hard to tell because, I mean, that does definitely look like a fucking shield, but I thought they were on all the doors as well. Hang on. Oh, you just can't see them. Look. They are there. You just can't see them the whole way. They used to not be that transparent. Like, you used to have that line effect the whole way down. So yeah, those, well, that's far less impressive than it was originally. And yeah, as Shade said, there is very clearly something here. I don't know what that is. Maybe another shield, I'm not sure. But, yeah, those scan lines are the shields. For what it's worth. Right. Moving right along. Spent all that time looking for something that was right in my face. God, I hate the lights in this place.
Be sure to explore all New Babbage has to offer. Whether it's the latest in cutting-edge technology or the beauty of our award-winning gardens, this city of tomorrow has a lot going on today.
Yes. So we'll go with this thing next.
From the best in shopping, dining, and entertainment.
Hey, there's my Hangar 4.
Be sure to visit New Babbage's renowned promenade.
So I'll go with the glaive for the next one. Which will probably be the last one, actually, because I don't think there's anything else to show. I still think this is a freaking diabolical piece of work. I'll actually showcase the scythe just because. Just because I have one and I can. Oh god, I'm breaking my neck. So as you see, that's this. We all saw this last time. That's fully powered up. So that's where all your HUD information is. I know that's helpful. So just do a quick little circle around this particular thing. This menace of sharp edges. Oops. Alrighty. So, when we put the landing gear up, all that shit collapses. I did think that those blades stuck out further, like significantly further, but obviously they don't. Or maybe it's just this big frickin' cannon on there that's making me a little bit confused about how far they actually stick out. So that's what the ship looks like when it's coming at you. Which is a very unpleasant thought. I'll just check and see if there's anything I may have missed. Although this cockpit doesn't really offer me much. Doesn't really offer me much at all, does it? Since I can actually show this from inside the cockpit for a change. So that's the glaive. With all its glorious sharp edges. Horrible, horrible pointy edges. Now I'll go back and I'll grab the scythe, since I have one. It's Alien Day. I may as well, since I have one. I don't know why I have a sight.
Ready to upgrade? Located in the plaza, the factory line has all of Microtech's latest
So we'll store this. And we'll grab ourselves a scythe.
Microtech, the Empire's leader in cutting-edge technology. We're
In
creating
my trusty Hangar 4.
innovative
Alrighty. So here's the less nasty version of that. It still has half a pointy, as you can see. It still has one big fuck off gun, and it has a second relatively large fuck off gun. The paint, well, the materials, I should say, are more similar to the blade, so the little one-man light fighter. Everything else, though, is the same. It's basically, this thing's basically the glaive, just minus one of the big freaking blades on the side. Can I go up?
Systems activated. Systems on.
It also has a tendency to lean to the side with that big fucking thing on it. So this is the same deal. It just fans out and lowers. The only difference is it's just on one side. And the other side has that. That little thing. So it's essentially half a ship, I guess. But yeah, as you can see, very minimum on the thrusters. The maneuvering thrusters, which means this thing goes great in a straight line. It doesn't go great anywhere else. So I think that pretty much sums up my alien ships. I mean, I don't have any more alien ships to show because there's not all that many in the game. I've come out, I've showcased everything. I mean, I suppose I can jump in the blade and show that off while I'm here. I may as well.
Remember, your belongings
If I can
belong to
find
you.
it.
Keep a careful watch on all personal items.
Trusty Hangar 4. It's also super easy to miss now. But there's actually a fucking hospital in here. In all the landing bays, there's a hospital. So this is this boy. I'll jump in him and power him up properly and... show you that there's no freaking lights in this cockpit. Holy shit. So this ship is really, really schmick. But, as I said, those wing blades are there for a reason. So the ship, when it pulls its landing gear up, or down, the wings actually fold out so that those blades are forward pointing. And also that little weird rib cage thing on the bottom folds in to hold up the landing gear, I guess. I don't really know. So yeah. Well, the blades on these ships do certainly appear to be simply aesthetic. They do all eventually end up pointing in the right direction. But yeah, this is the one Vandal ship that I actually do adore. I love the look of this ship. I've never actually flown one because they're nigh impossible to get a hold of, because typically they haven't been selling them, the Vandal ships. But for whatever reason, we've started, so I'm not going to complain. So that's that. That's all the alien ships. I'm pretty sure I don't have any others that may or may not have snuck through the cracks. Got 2 days to test that boy. It's a bit depressing, isn't it, really? I have 2 redeemers. Ah, the Katsual, of course. Got all about it.
Ready to upgrade? Located in the plaza.
I think I'll actually have to open the hangar doors for this. I'm not really sure, because it does require a little bit of space. I think I may have recalled them and pulled it out too close together.
Keep a careful watch on all personnel.
Alright. Hangar 4. Now this ship is really, really cool. It's really, really crap because the shields don't work, but it's not going to take away from how cool it is. So, this is it. Sits on the ground with these pissant little feet. See if I can get away with doing it in the hangar. So, that's our fully engaged HUD. Obviously the thrusters are those little ball things. And I don't like this. I'm gonna go outside.
You are clear to launch.
Which is probably going to be even more interesting because I don't actually know how well we'll see it at night. But you can even just listen to how this ship sounds. So yeah, obviously we're not going to see a whole lot, but so that is how quickly this thing swivels side to side. Actually, it's getting a little bit lighter. Alright, so, anyway. This beautiful ship. When we pull the gear up, the whole ship unfolds. And those are pretty much, those are directional thrusters, so this shit goes as good in any direction as it does forward and back. So if you want to make yourself seasick, this is the ship to do it in. So basically this ship doesn't actually have what I suppose you would call main thrusters. This ship only has maneuvering thrusters. You can see them all wiggling. So yeah. Floodlights, just in case you get lost in the dark. Yes, those are the lights that are on this little boy. I don't actually know where they're located. Oh, right at the top. Boom! Blind everybody in the station. So yeah, that's this boy.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
I love this ship. I love the sound it makes.
Landing gear down.
And basically all of the... So, well, I say all of them, it's this one and its bigger brother, which isn't in the game yet and probably won't be until they fix the shields properly, because that kind of, if the shields don't work, it kind of reduces its selling point.
Landing complete. Pleasant stay.
They all fold out like this one. Well, I should say, not all. So the other one is, its bigger brother is called the Santokyi. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but that's what I'm going with. And I'm not, it's a medium fighter, but I'm not actually sure how big it is by comparison of this thing. Because, I mean, realistically, when this thing unfolds, you've got to remember that this part from that tip there to that tip there, that's the main body of this craft. And I've never actually seen anything about the Santokyi, so I don't actually know how big it is. It still uses the same vector thrustering system, which is just no actual main thrusters, just all directional thrusters. Just 4 big directional thrusters. But, and it's like a, I don't want to call it a lime green, because it's definitely not a lime green. It's kind of like a lime green, but not as bright, whatever that shade down is. But yeah, this poor boy suffers paper armor and no shields, so unfortunately. I'd be very curious to see if the ship actually performs quite well when it does get, you know, mixed up with the proper shields, but... at the very least, I look forward to the Santok UI, because this thing, performance-wise, certainly speaks for itself. But, yeah, that's it. I love showing this thing off, though. This thing, I just... If anything just yells, jumps up and down, and screams alien, it's this thing. Just the way it unfolds, the way it moves. Oh yeah, that's it. That's its thing. No thrusters, just maneuvering thrusters. It goes any way as fast as it goes any other way. Forward, back, up, down, left, right. It all goes that way, the same speed. It just goes meow. So yeah, I love these things. I'm really, really, really looking forward to the Santok UI when it comes out. As soon as I saw that ship, the Santok UI, come up for sale, I'm like, I have to have that ship. So hopefully it won't let me down, because otherwise I'll cry. Lay down, try not to cry. Cry a lot.
We're sorry. You've exceeded the allotted time to depart. We will have to return your...
Well, it's stuck with standard shielding. It's stuck with the same shielding that every other ship in the game has.
Storage procedure. For your safety, please vacate the area.
Those ships in particular are not supposed to have the same default shielding as everything else. They're supposed to have a unique shielding. Shut up.
For your
Jesus.
safety, please vacate the area.
I've vacated the area. Just take the ship. Jesus.
Keep a careful watch of all personal items.
They're not supposed to have the same shielding systems as, like, every other ship in the game, which they do. Which is where the problem is.
Be sure to explore all New Babbage has to offer. Whether it's the latest in
They're not supposed to have, like, those phallic shields like the Talons, but
the city of tomorrow.
they're supposed to have, like, reinforced shields, so... Their paper armor frame doesn't get carved up the first time it gets shot. I remember I got shot by an anti-aircraft battery in that thing, and it just went clean through the shield. Clean through the shield, hit the maneuvering thrusters, game over, man, game over. The Comet didn't do too good either.
Microtech, the Empire's leader in cutting-edge technology.
But yeah,
Where creative innovation.
I think that is about all she wrote. The Crusader Ares sisters we'll get to see in Crusader Day. No doubt we will see every frickin' Hercules that day as well, because they are flogging those things hard.
From all of us at Microtech, welcome to the New Babbage Interstellar Spaceport.
The Origin 400 will no doubt be showcased. Well, actually, I can't even say it'll be showcased, because even though the 400i is a gorgeous ship, we all know what is going to take that center stage. Everybody who has ever seen Star Citizen ever knows what's going to take the center stage on Origin Day.
Tired of travel? Why not rest at the next newly renovated accommodation? Located
Didn't.
downtown with a luxurious-
I mind you, I haven't actually looked at it. I only noticed the other day that I had 400i.
From all of us at Microtech,
Hunted me out of the terminal, how rude.
Babbage Interstellar Spaceport.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, look at that. They told me to get out of the ship and vacate it. It's still there in the hangar. ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is all I have for today, unfortunately. The exotics day, while gorgeous, is unfortunately lacking. Simply because a lot of them are still in concept, or even if they have got the concept designs, they're full, what would you call it? They're full, I'm not even sure what you call it.
Looking for a good time? Be sure to visit Wally's Bar in Promenade.
Actually, there is one more thing I can maybe look at. I'll go over and I'll see if I have one. Don't know if I will, but if I do, I'll take it out and I'll show you. I very severely doubt I'm going to have a Nox, but I'm going to attempt to see if I have one.
Approaching station. Stand clear of disembarking passengers.
The Nox is just a bike, but it is an interesting bike, so it's also one of the bikes that you can use in space, so that's worth noting. Just make sure you're wearing a helmet. Unlike me the other day, who jumped into a ship, forgot the new inventory system can't be fucking changed when you're piloting a ship, and then had to try and make a mad dash for the bloody airlock on a station, and yeah, I didn't make that. It ended bad. Where are we going? Oh, that's good. I don't like showcasing things at night, but every time I want to do something on New Babbage, it's always bloody night. My stop, friend. Alrighty.
Allow your thoughts to forge a path towards creating change.
Now I just have to remember how to get out of this bloody place. I think it's the plaza. Is it the plaza? I don't think it is. God, the yoga people are going to run over me. Surface entrance, that's what I'm after. I mean, I seem to have everything else bloody showing up in my collection that I never asked for, so it wouldn't shock me if I had a Nox. More customs. I have an Anvil Spartan? No, I don't. What do you know? You know what? Because I'm sitting here doing show and tell, I'm actually just going to go back. I'm going to hire a Nox so I can show people. Oops. Gotta go up. If I'm going to do something, I'll do it to the end. least you get a good little look over of New Babbage. New Babbage is very pretty. It's better than Lawville. Anything's better than Lawville, though, I suppose. Fucking dirty shithole it is.
Careful, doors are now closing.
I'm a bit disappointed that they just didn't give me a Nox. They've given me everything else.
Nearing next stop.
Giving me stuff I can't usually get. Alrighty.
The capsule.
This way. Although I will have to remember to put my cold weather gear on before I duck out into the freezing cold in the middle of the night, because that would be really, really bad. Because I think the last time I went out there in like full cold gear, I still fucking froze to death. The weather on New Babbage is really, really weird. Sometimes you're completely okay, other times you're just like, no. You can freeze now. I'm sorry. Alright. Let's rent one of these boys. And we should be good. Now I just got to try and get back to where I was without getting lost again, or without getting stuck on the tram loop. I'm fine with the New Babbage tram loop until these events start, when they open up the Expo Center, and then I've got no bloody clue. The Expo Center always does me in. I don't know why. It's just that one extra stop, and apparently that's enough.
Many of the vehicles on display at this year's
Ooh, clunk.
Aerospace Expo.
Commons.
Celebrating those, dare to fly.
Tram arriving in 30 seconds. You don't know how much I appreciate knowing how long it's going to be before a tram shows up.
Thank you for visiting New Babbage's Tobin Expo Center. Stands preeminent destination for live events and exhibitions.
Capsule now approaching station. Stand clear of disembarking passengers.
Stand clear of disembarking passengers.
Careful, doors are now closing.
You know, if this game allowed people to have something stuck in those freaking doors, you know there'd be some clown that'd get stuck in them. There's always one idiot that tries to make the train. and gets stuck in the door. Like their shirt or their jacket or something gets stuck in the door. The Area 18 tram would be worse. Where was I before? Was I in the promenade or the plaza? I forget. Rock climbing. Look for rock climbing. Alrighty. Planetary surface exit. All this time and the sun still hasn't come up. Although I think when I started streaming the sun was up, so I probably shouldn't complain too much. I mean, it's only been, what, 2 hours? Not even an hour. Anyway, it's not important. Let's retrieve this vehicle and showcase this gorgeous little thing after I put some clothes on. What do I need? What do I need? What do I need? I probably should have got a better hat, but I think that's out of the question at this point in time. So we're going to put on our big snow jacket. I think those gloves are the ones we're after. And just for the hell of it, I'm going to put a hat on. I don't actually know. I don't think that hat has any insulation, but that's okay. So, as we discussed, this is the Nox. That is it's my head.
Systems activating. Systems on.
So I'm gonna have to get...
Engines.
Please hold
Shields.
assignment.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
I don't actually think that was what I wanted. I think I needed to contact the garage.
You are clear to launch.
Thank you. Ah, my game started chopping again.
All of our landing areas are currently full. Please hold assignment.
Bad time to start lagging. So obviously my streaming software has had the dick again. Which is very
Thank
unfortunate.
you. And please visit.
Yeah. As soon as I get the bike out. So unfortunately I can't do too much more because it's gonna have to recycle the whole thing and everything else but yeah. It's basically a hover bike. It floats over stuff. You can sort of heighten and lower the elevation slightly, not constantly, so like you jump and crouch and the bike responds appropriately, as you would expect from a jump and a crouch. This one, unfortunately, though, does not go very good in corners. It goes all straight. It's all straight. And as you can see, these wonderful negative 81 degrees Celsius temperatures are killing me. So I suppose now's as good a time as any to actually say that's yibbity yibbita. 5 minutes, I'll be dead. Rip me. So yeah, I hope you guys. I'm sorry, I also couldn't finish up with the Nox, but yeah. I hope that helps. God, I've had too much going on lately. Thinking I'm still playing Arknights. I hope that was enjoyable. Like I say, unfortunately the Alien Day much as I wish it had more, it doesn't, unfortunately. Everything's either still in concept or it's awaiting, you know, other changes to the game to be made before they can actually release anything. Which is disappointing. I believe by the next IAE, though, which is obviously this time next year, all of the infrastructure which they're going to be using for, you know, the enhanced shielding, and there's a whole bunch of stuff between now and next year that, you know, they pretty much committed to unloading into the game. They just finished off a whole bunch of their regular stuff, so yeah, next year will be a pretty big year for a Star Citizen, I think. I'm not going to say the game's going to release next year because that's an outright lie, but, you know, as far as actual content and new stuff goes, I think next year will be well, the next IAE, I should say, will be pretty lofty, I would say. But, I mean, again, time will tell. I mean, this team hasn't really been too badly impacted by the Rona, so yeah. Well, that's it for Alien Day. I'm not sure what's tomorrow. Crusader, maybe? I haven't really looked. I never really look, but anyway, I will be back same time tomorrow for, once again, more of the IAE. Hopefully we'll get some more Jacks tomorrow, too. Time will tell for that one, whether he decides to come back with his Redeemer with the poop paint. So we'll get to see some of the sexy ships tomorrow, like the Mercury Star Runner, etc. So, that aside, thank you, ladies and gents, for coming. If Star Citizen does tickle your fancy, and you don't own the game, check out my referral code, because you will get bonuses. You will get the little ship that could, the little trade, little cargo ship that could. Fuck, I can't wait for Argo Day for that. I really can't. I just want to see the little ship that could. That's just something so amazing about this little one-man cargo ship that's got absolutely nothing special about it, that just wins the annual competition over, you know, ships that are significantly more worthwhile. Although they are supposed to be like the crux ships for like the Hull series, so we'll have to see. Anyway, that's what I'm looking forward to for the Argo Day, just for my own personal amusement. That aside, thank you, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls. Referral code is in the description. Like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. You know the YouTube gibberish. And I hope to see everybody tomorrow.